Okay. Students, can you see the slide? Can anyone reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. See, we were discussing the concepts of life insurance. So in the previous class, we understood the basics of life insurance, then the growth of actual science. Then we even majorly understood the features of life insurance and what exactly is life insurance contract. So in today's class, we will majorly understand some of the important documents associated with the life insurance. The first, a document issued by an insurance company that is used to verify the existence of insurance coverage under the specific conditions granted to listed individuals. The contract for the life insurance starts with the proposal made by the proposer in the standard application form available with the insurance company, and then various other documents are prepared. The first document, the very important document, what we'll try to understand now is when it comes to insurance, we'll understand the meaning of proposal form. See, the proposal form is a standardized form, and the proposal form is a type of an application form which a proposer has to fill all the relevant details about the life to be assured. And what happens normally, the insurance agent has the proposal form with him provided by the insurer. So a proposal form is to be completed by the proposer in his own handwriting and signed in the presence of the insurance agent or a representative of the company. And the insurance proposal form contains a declaration at the end to ensure the authenticity of the information that is being submitted by the individual. And when we speak about the proposal form, normally it will contain the following information, which I will be telling now. Name of the life assured, then address, complete address will be there, and then date of birth to verify the exact age, and occupation, age, and name of the employer, if any. Then some assured of the proposed policy, and family medical history and proposes medical history. So these are some of the important contents, what we can say, of the proposal form. Then we have the premium receipt. So the what do you mean by premium? Everybody know, right? So the premium is the price paid for the risk undertaken by the insurer. So when it can be defined as the selling price of the insurance, very simple term. That is a compensation paid by the insured party to the insurer in exchange for having the risk covered. So the second important document when it comes to life insurance documents, we call it as the premium receipt. So what happens here, premium receipt? Nowadays, you can pay all the premium online. A link will be coming to your mail inbox or to your SMS. So directly you click the link, it will go to your payment gateway. So you can use the options over there, like your credit card or your net banking facility, and pay it. And then the receipt will be directly coming to your mail inbox. So this is also one of the important document, right? Normally the insurance agent provides the proposal form and other, all the related documents, and the underwriter examines the form and other documents and then determines the terms on which to accept the risk or reject the same. And here, students, the premium receipt is an important and the most powerful document on the basis of which the life assured can ask the insurer to issue the policy bond, which can be treated as the evidence of the contract of life insurance. Then we have policy bond. I think all of you have seen the policy bond if your parents have taken the insurance. So what is this policy bond? After issuing the first premium receipt, what happens normally? The next step is that of the insurer of sending the policy bond to the life assured. And this document is also called as policy contract. Correct? So which is the ultimate evidence of the life assured. And what exactly this contains? It contains all the terms and conditions of the contract between the insurance company and the life assured, duly stamped as per the Indian Stamp Act. Okay, so the policy is directly sent to the life assured by the insurer, And then the policy contract contains the details of the insurance, such as the duration of the policy, and then the type of the policy, sum assured, premium amount, and the date of maturity, and the nominee as an. That means it consists of all the information. So whatever you have entered in the application form. So the first and the important thing is you have to first read whether the bond, whatever you have got from the company, whether is there any spelling mistakes in that, whether the nominee is mentioned in that, and whether the sum assured is there. So everything you have to check it properly. Okay. Then we have alterations and endorsements. See, what is this alteration and endorsement? See, endorsement means what? It is an authenticated noting on the back of the policy contract and forms a part of what? The contract. In case of the lack of space, the endorsement can be put on a separated sheet of papers and attached to the policy. So there are different type of alterations or modifications that can be made during the tenure of the policy. It can be like changes regarding increase or reduction in the sum assured, then mode of payment of premium. Then we can say modification related on account of mistakes in the preparation of the policy by the insurer, right? Then modifications related to the reduction in term. So all these kind of alterations can be made. Then we have reminding notice. This is again one of the important document. See, it is an information sent by the insurer to the policy holder, reminding the person who has taken the insurance about the due date of a particular premium and the amount of premium. For example, students, your June 10th will be the date of your renewal. So one reminder email will come to your mail inbox, registered mail inbox, and even one SMS also will come at least 10 or 15 days before to the policy renewal. Then what you can do is within the renewal date, you can either select the mode of payment. It can be online or offline. And nowadays, due to COVID, all are opting for online transaction. And you can either select for credit or debit or internet banking. There are various methods through which you can pay the online premium. But reminder should be given by the insurance company. Then we have other documents. Please see the slide over there. The last type of document, what we are trying to understand now is the other type of documents. See, apart from other documents, there are some other specialized documents which are like, proposal on the lives of the non-resident Indians, what we call it as NRIs, which consists of some special questionnaire asking for the relevant information. Then we have, partnership insurance, which consists of papers asking for the profit and P&L account of the firm for the last 3 years, that the insurance of the partner, the partnership deed, and the deed of variation allowing the purchase of the assurance policy. So these are some of the major documents what we have to understand in life insurance. Then we'll understand the meaning of insurance premium. See, as I explained you, the premium is the price paid for the risk undertaken by the insurers, or it can be even defined as the selling price of insurance. That is the compensation paid by the insured party to the insurer in exchange for what? In exchange for the risk covered. Let me elaborate on this, students. See, according to the insurance law, the considerations paid to the insurer for insurance protection a specific period of time is called as premium. So a rate is the price charged per unit of exposure or a risk protection. So when we clearly understand the meaning of insurance premium, if we can still, an insurance premium is the amount of money an individual or business must pay for an insurance policy. And why are you paying that particular premium? In order to cover the risk. So insurance premiums are paid for policies that cover almost all the type of insurance. That can be healthcare, auto, home, and life insurance, right? So premium of the insurance policy is decided considering the age of the customer and the coverage period and even the duration of the policy. And then what happens? It is calculated by multiplying the rate of the number of exposure units bought finally. Okay. Now we'll try to understand what is this gross premium and net premium. See, premium of the insurance policy is decided considering the age of the customer or the age of an individual and the coverage period and even the duration of the policy, right? So it is then calculated by multiplying the rate of the number of exposure units bought. And when we try to understand the first type of gross premium, as the name only suggests, the gross premium is the premium charged by the insurer. Please understand, students, to be able to meet the expenses of insurance and pay the amount of claims. So it depends upon the mortality rate, the assumed interest rate, and then the expenses and the bonus loading. So the gross premium includes the net premium and the loading. So when I say loading, so what do you understand with the term called as loading when it comes to life insurance? Well, loading refers to the amount added to the net premium to take care of other expenses, which includes profit margin and also a margin towards contingencies. So the amount required to pay bonus on participating policies may also be included in loading. So thus you can say that the sum total of a pure premium, which covers expected losses and the loss adjustment expenses, other operating expenses and contingency margin, is called loading. So finally, what do you understand by gross premium? So gross premium is the actual premium required to be paid by the policy holders. Sometimes we even refer this as office premium too. So then we'll try to understand the net premium, wherein we have a net single premium and net level premium. Okay. See, as the name only suggests, when I say net single premium, in general means that the present monetary worth of the future death benefit. I'm repeating once again. Net single premium means the present monetary worth of the future death benefit. That means it is the lump sum premium amount which together with the return or interest earned thereon. Correct? So once the single premium is calculated, it becomes the basis of calculating other premiums. And then we have net level premium. See, in case of NLP, that is net level premium, unlike the net single premium, which is paid only at the commencement of the contract, the net level premium is paid periodically in accordance with the terms of the contract. So here what happens in case of a net level premium, most people, they find it difficult to pay the premium amount in lump sum. Correct, no students? So if the premium amount is say 85,000 per annum, so for paying the lump sum amount, it becomes difficult for the individuals. So most people, they find it difficult to pay the premium amount in lump sum, and they prefer to pay for their insurance in installments payments. So what happens here? Thus the net level premium is generally considered to be more suitable than the net single premium. So the net single premium is the present value of all the future claims. But then the present value of all the net level premiums is also equal to the sum total of the present values of all the future claims. So what do you understand by net level premium there? Net level premium may alternatively be calculated on the basis of annuity due principle. So the annuity due for the same period and issued at the same age is exactly same as level premium. So the premium in both the cases is paid in the beginning of the period and is paid usually so long as the assured is alive. Though the premium can also be paid only for a particular period, like in the case of term and endowment policies. So these are the two important types, the gross premium and the net premium. And after understanding the concept of loading, we'll try to understand the various methods when it comes to loading. So what is loading? I've explained to you just now. Once again, I'll try to repeat now. See, loading refers to the amount added to the net premium to take care of other expenses, that is profit margin and also a margin towards contingencies. So the amount required to pay bonus on the participating policies may also be included in the loading. So students, the sum total of pure premium, which covers the expected losses and loss adjustment expenses, other operating expenses and contingency margin, is referred to as loading. So when we discuss about loading, there are four important methods of loading. That is constant addition loading, the first one, and then we have the percentage addition loading, and then modified percentage method, and constant and percentage addition method. So we will try to understand each method in detail. The first method is concerned, that is the constant addition loading. So we'll try to understand what exactly do you mean by constant addition loading. As the name only suggests, constant addition, that means this method presumes that all the expenses vary with the amount of the policy, and therefore a fixed amount, I'm repeating, a fixed constant amount per thousand of sum assured is loaded to the net premium. Then the second method of loading is called percentage addition loading. See, as the name only suggests, a fixed percentage of net premium is added to the premium, and it assumes that all the expenses vary according to the premium amount. So expenses varying with the policy amount, on the other hand, are completely ignored. Then the third type of loading is modified percentage method. See what happens here in case of modified percentage method. The loading consists of those expenses which vary with what? With net level premium for the given policies, and also expenses that vary with net level premium of the whole life policy issued at the given age. So students, it is an adaptation of the above two methods. However, it fails to relate the expenses according to the variations. Then the last type of loading, what we're going to understand now, is called as constant and percentage addition method. See, under this method, the loading includes a fixed amount per thousand of the sum assured, along with a fixed percentage of the net premium for the policy. So the percentages are based on the past experience. So the method seems to presume that the expenses vary either with the net premium or with the sum assured, and even ignores the fact that the expenses may be logical than the rest. So these are the very important. Explain the various methods of loading when it comes to life insurance. So we have constant addition loading, and then we have percentage addition loading. Then the third type of loading, what we discussed just now, was modified percentage method, and constant and percentage addition method. See, already we have discussed, but once again, I'll try to discuss the various life insurance products that can be classified. First and the foremost, very important, what we're going to discuss now is term insurance. Students, please understand term insurance. As the name only suggests, a term insurance policy, it is one of the oldest policy, as everybody knows. But what is the purpose of this term insurance, or who should go for term insurance, or what are the advantages of term insurance? That we're going to discuss now. See, they will be asking a question like, explain the various life insurance products with proper example, or with pros and cons, with advantages and disadvantages. So you should be knowing how exactly each type of insurance will work. Okay. So when it comes to term insurance, it is the pure and the most basic form of insurance. And then the term insurance is the insurance where the entire premium paid, please understand this term, entire premium paid by whom? By an individual, goes towards covering the risk of death during a certain period of time. So what happens here, students? The insurer makes the payment only if the life assured dies within the term of the policy. So in the case of a term life insurance contract, the sum assured is payable only in the event of death during the term. So in case of survival, the contract comes to an end at the end of the term, since only death risk is covered. And here, students, what happens to the premium? The premium payment is low or high? It is obviously low, and the contract is very simple. So the premium is paid throughout the term of the policy or till the prior death of the life assured. So some of the very good advantages of this term insurance includes a person who is having low income, it can be due to salary or business, can provide for meeting family obligations at low cost, because the premium will be lesser compared to all other form of insurance. And the second important advantage of term insurance, or why we should go for term insurance, is the person or an individual on the thresholds of new careers or business can avail term insurance policies to save on cost, so that they can utilize their balance income or capital for developing their career or business. Then the next advantage of term insurance could be like, individual who have invested substantially in new ventures, by borrowing at heavy interest rates or mortgaging their property, can cover the risk of serious loss to the investment through term insurance at low premium. Correct? Then the next advantage could be, this is very useful as a supplement to endowment or whole life policies with the view to get higher risk cover, because you are covering, you are assisting your family members too. So it is useful to those who need extra protection for a short duration. So what happens, students, in modern business? Indemnifying loss to business due to death of the key person responsible for the running of business can be done through term insurance plan. So that is a very important type of insurance wherein you can protect you can protect financially all the members of your family. Then there are various schemes that are covered under the term insurance products. It can be like 2-year temporary assurance policy, or it can be convertible term assurance policy, or it can be a very popular, Anmol Jeevan I or Amulya Jeevan I, which LIC is offering. That is, for example, this Anmol Jeevan I is concerned with Life Insurance Corporation of India. India's Anmol Jeevan I is a unique plan of assurance. By far one of the most popular form also, because it is one of the cheapest policy to buy, cheaper than even a whole life policy to start with. So it is a pure term cover which provides only life cover, unlike endowment and money back policies, which have a built-in saving element too. So it is a pure term insurance plan which provides maximum risk with minimum premium, because we have to see the premium also here, right? Then comes whole life insurance, the second product under the life insurance. So here we are trying, or already we have discussed each type of insurance, but in spite of that, let me explain you again the concepts of all these type of insurance, because this is very important question, okay, that can be asked. Explain the life insurance products, various life insurance products, or explain whole life insurance with advantages and disadvantages, or explain the term of explain the term insurance, like that. Okay. See, when we speak about whole life insurance, as the name only suggests, whole means what? For the entire life. Correct? So, as the name suggests, the whole life insurance policies are intended to provide the life insurance protection over one's lifetime. That means for the entire lifetime. And it is a long-term insurance plan. So here, students, what we have to understand here is the essence of this whole life insurance is that it provides for the payment of the assured amount upon the insured death, regardless of when it occurs. It means, please understand this, the sum assured is payable only to the beneficiary on the death of the insured. And it is also an ordinary and a cheaper type of life insurance policy. So what we have to understand here is, under these policies, that is whole life insurance policies, the payment of the assured sum is a certainty in contrast to the term insurance contracts. So only the time of payment of the assured sum is an uncertainty. So what is whole life policy or whole life insurance? Whole life policies can be either participating type or non-participating type. So when I say participating or non-participating, what do you understand by this? Participating type policies are those which are entitled to share in the distributable surplus, that is profits of the life insurance company, right? So whereby the cash value of the policy can go up with the announcement of bonus or even the dividends, correct? Whereas non-participating policies means what? They have the same benefit throughout the life of the policy. So after understanding the meaning of this whole life insurance policy, now we'll try to understand the advantages of this whole life insurance policy. So the first and the foremost advantage could be it provides economic security to the dependents of assured, correct? Some safety will be there for the dependents of that particular family if something goes wrong with the head of the family. An uncertain event, if it happens with the head of the family, then it provides economic security to the dependents. Then it helps to discharge the liabilities after the death. Then the premium rates are lower in comparison to other policies, but not as lower as term insurance. But compared to other policies or other type of policies, the premium is lower. And very, very important, as the name only suggests, whole life means what? It's a permanent lifetime insurance coverage. And premiums that are guaranteed never to increase. So these are some of the major advantages of what? Of whole life insurance policy. And then we will try to understand some of the important products when it comes to whole life insurance products. See, the first and the important product here is whole life policy. And then whole life policy limited payment. Then we have whole life policy single premium. I think all of you have heard of Jeevan Anand and Jeevan Tarang, which is again a whole life policy. What is this Jeevan Anand? So this plan is a combination of endowment assurance and whole life plans, correct? So it even provides financial protection against the death throughout the lifetime of the life assured, with the provision of payment of a lump sum at the end of the selected term in case of his or her survival. Then Jeevan Tarang, again one of the most popular whole life insurance policy. So this is a with profit whole of life plan, and which provides for annual survival benefit at somewhere at a range of 5.5% of the sum assured after the chosen accumulation period. And even the vested bonus in a lump sum are payable on the survival to the end of the accumulation period or an earlier death, right? So these are some of the important products when it comes to whole life insurance policy. Then the third type of the insurance, that is a life insurance product, it's called as endowment insurance. See, what is this endowment insurance or endowment policy? See, endowment insurance policies are considered as the best sellers among all the policies. Why they are known as the best sellers? Because as the provisions of such policies, the payment of the assured sum is required to be made to the beneficiary if the policyholder dies before the completion of the specified term. Suppose if the policy will be taken for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, and before the policyholder dies before the completion of the specified term, then to the beneficiary, the complete sum assured will be paid. So to the policyholder, if he survives till the completion of the specified term, suppose if he has taken the term for 15 years, and if he completes the entire 15 years, then what happens? The complete payment of assured sum will be paid to the policyholder if he survives till the completion of specified term, right? So the assured sum is payable. Please understand, students, the assured sum is payable either to whom? Either to the policyholder on the date of maturity, or on the death of the policyholder if it takes place early, before the maturity date. That is very important to understand, okay? So an endowment plan What exactly we are understanding now in endowment plan? An endowment plan is a combination of term insurance and pure endowment. Such offers the benefits of both the plans. So when we speak about a pure endowment plan, which provides payment of a specified amount of money to the policy holder on completion of the specified period, correct? Or on the date of the maturity period. And the term insurance, on the other hand, offers payment of what? Assured sum. To whom? To the beneficiary in the event of the policyholder's death before the specified date. So very important thing is what endowment assurance provides the advantages available separately in the both the plans, in the above plans, what we discussed. Then we will try to understand some of the major advantages of endowment insurance. The first important advantage could be like, in addition to the coverage of life, it even provides a better opportunity of saving and investment, right? And the second important advantage could be the benefit of non-forfeiture are integral part of the policy because it is flexible in nature. The first and the foremost thing what we have to understand when it comes to endowment insurance is what it is very flexible in nature, as its term is concerned, which can be selected by the policy holder according to his or her financial planning and future requirements of funds for any purpose. And it even facilitates the surrender values, then loan values, and even the paid up values. So these are some of the important advantages of what of endowment insurance. Then we'll try to understand some of the important products of endowment insurance. See, endowment assurance policy we have, then endowment assurance policy that is limited payment we have, then very popular we call it as Jeevan Mitra, right? See, which is a double cover endowment plan and a triple cover endowment plan. So what is this Jeevan Mitra plan? Let me elaborate on this, students. The most important feature of this endowment assurance scheme is the clause that extends higher financial coverage against the death of the policyholder during the entire term of the plan. So what happens in case of policyholder's survival till the completion of the term of the policy? The maturity amount is paid to whom? It is paid to the policyholder. And then we have Jeevan Anand. All of you have heard of this Jeevan Anand policy. That means this plan has some feature of the endowment assurance plan and some features of whole life assurance plan. So it offers a financial coverage against the insured's death during his or her entire lifetime. And in case the policyholder survives, the selected term, the maturity amount becomes payable in one lump sum at the end of the term. Then we have Jeevan Sati, again, a very important, I think your parents might be knowing or even you might be have heard from them. That is a joint life plan. Jeevan Sati, as the name only suggests, this endowment assurance plan, it envisages the coverage of life for both husband and wife because it is called Jeevan Sati. The plan itself tells you, right? So in the event of either the death, either's death, either husband dies first or wife dies first, the assured sum becomes payable to the surviving partner. So in another scenario, that is in the event of death of both, there was a question asked by one of your classmates, right? So if both are driving a vehicle and if both met with an accident and they die immediately, then what happens? The beneficiary will get the assured sum. Please understand this. And if both the parents survive till the end of the assured term, then what happens? The maturity amount is paid to them jointly. Like first holder and second holder will be there. So it will be credited to their account jointly. Okay. Joint account will be there now. So there it will be credited. Then we'll try to understand the last type of policy and I'll end the class now. Money back policy. The last type of policy for the day, the fourth one. See, what is this money back policy? So what happens here? A portion of the sum assured is payable at regular intervals. So these policies are structured to provide sums required as anticipated expenses over a stipulated period of time. Correct? So with inflation becoming a big issue, all of you know how inflation is rising day by day. It can be education inflation, it can be your everyday needs inflation, or your marriage cost is concerned. So we are seeing, and even you can see the crude oil prices every day, it is increasing day by day, right? So earlier when I took the diesel car, I thought it is economical for me, but now the price of diesel and petrol, there is no much variation. And even when it comes to diesel vehicle, the maintenance cost is high. So what happens here? What I'm trying to tell you is the inflation is increasing day by day. Correct? So what happens in case of money back policy, students? These policies are structured to provide sums required as anticipated expenses over a stipulated period of time. So with inflation becoming a big issue, companies have realized that sometimes the money value of the policy is completely eroded. So a portion of the sum assured is actually payable at regular intervals. And again, on survival, the remainder of the sum assured is payable. And in case of death, the full sum assured is payable to the insured. Please understand the difference. So under money back policies, premiums can be paid as per the insurance company's policy. So it can be like, quarterly, half yearly, or annually, the premiums can be paid. And also very important thing is the premiums for these policies are payable for the selected term of years or till the death if it occurs earlier. And even by buying such policies, one can receive income at regular intervals other than the risk cover it provides. See, what is the advantage of this here? So also a good amount of bonus on the full sum assured is, very good for the individuals. So it is called as money back policy. As the name only suggests, what is money back policies? One can receive income at regular intervals. You are getting the money back at regular intervals, correct? So the name called as money back policy. So what are the advantages of this money back policy, students? The first and the foremost thing is what? It helps in saving tax. Then after that, it provides some guaranteed, some sort of guaranteed returns. Then very important, the third advantage is what? They even offer dual benefits of insurance and redemption of money at regular intervals. And last but not the least advantage is what? Money which is given at regular intervals may be used to pay the premium or some other investment, right? See, a very important thing as a student, what I suggest you is, when the moment you start earning, or at least now, you can do a monthly systematic investment plan of 500 rupee every month. That means 12 5s are 60s, that is 6,000 rupee in a year, right? So your planning should start right away. That's very important. When you are a student, you can plan for the small amount. When you start earning, you can increase the SIP amount, so that what happens, for 20 years or 25 years, if you continue for a SIP, so you will be getting a fantastic returns which will actually beat the inflation rate. So why SIP I'm suggesting you is, only through mutual fund systematic investment plan you can beat the rupee cost averaging, that is RCA. Okay, now we'll try to understand some of the money back policy insurance products which are there. Like we have a very popular that's called Jeevan Surabhi, which is again 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. So what is this Jeevan Surabhi? So Jeevan Surabhi plan is similar to, money back plans. So however, the main difference in regular money back plans and Jeevan Surabhi are maturity term is more than premium paying term, and risk cover increases every 5 years. And then I think you have heard of this plan also. It's called, Bima Bachat plan, and even Jeevan Bharati I. So what is this Bima Bachat? Bima Bachat is again a money back policy which offers financial security and assurance to the policy holder and his family members. So Bima Bachat requires the policy holder to pay online one premium, and the amount paid for the premium depends on the duration of the policy taken and even the life insurance which is available till the date of maturity. Okay, that's called Bima Bachat plan. Okay, then we have Jeevan Bharati I, that is, it's a plan exclusively, Bharati means what? It is exclusively for women, Indian females. So it is a with profit plan having the special features considering the needs of women. And the plan also provides for accident benefit students, critical illness benefit, and even disability benefit as optional riders. So till money back policy we'll discuss today. We have discussed today. Tomorrow I'll be taking the other two plans, that is unit linked insurance plan as well as annuities. So I will end the session. I hope all of you have understood. Thank you so much for your patience listening, students.